Since the end of the socialist system, Russia has experienced a period of transition from a centralized and planned economy to a free economy. The Russian economy is currently considered advanced compared to the early 1990s. Russia is also considered one of the markets witnessing steady growth in the current period, as it is achieving profits as a result of the rise in oil and natural gas prices. In general, most of Russia's exports are raw materials and energy exports, but Russia has significant manufacturing capabilities in the areas of space, nuclear engineering, and science. Russia has enormous natural resources, especially oil and natural gas, in addition to iron, nickel, diamonds, phosphates, silver, lead, and gold. The country is one of the 10 largest economies in the world in terms of gross domestic product, and the 6th largest in terms of purchasing power. The main problem of the weakness of the Russian economy is the large military spending, and the second largest expenditure of the Russian budget is on weapons. Since the turn of the 21st century, rising domestic consumption and increasing political stability have boosted economic growth in Russia. In 2008, the country ended its 9th consecutive year with a growth rate of 7%, every year between 2000 and 2008. The GDP per capita reached $19,840 in 2010. The average salary in Russia rose from $80 in 2000 to $640 in early 2008. At the end of 2010, the average nominal monthly wage reached 21,192 rubles, equivalent to $750, while individual income taxes take a rate of 13% on most individual income. 13.7% of Russians live below the national poverty line, 2010. Their percentage decreased from 40% in 1998, the worst percentage the country reached after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Unemployment reached 12.4% in 1999, but fell to 6% in 2007. The middle class increased from just 8 million people in 2000 to 55 million people by 2006. Since 2003, exports of natural resources have begun to decrease in their economic importance, and despite the rise in global energy, oil and gas prices, they contribute only 3.7% of Russia's GDP. Oil export revenues allowed Russia to increase its foreign reserves from $12 billion in 1999 to $597.3 billion as of August 1, 2008, ranking third among the countries with the largest foreign exchange reserves in the world. Prudent and sound macroeconomic policy, under the leadership of Russian Finance Minister Alexei Kudrin, made it necessary for the kingdoms to store surplus revenues in the Russian Stabilization Fund, which helped them emerge from the global financial crisis in much better shape than many experts expected. In 2006, Russia paid off most of its massive debt, making its economy one of the least major economies with external debt. The tax law adopted in 2001 contributed to reducing the tax burden on people, and state revenues increased significantly. Russia has a flat tax rate of 13% and is ranked as the country with the second most attractive personal tax system for managers in the world after the United Arab Emirates. According to Bloomberg, Russia is far ahead of most other resource-rich countries in its economic growth, in addition to having a long tradition in education, science, and industry. The country has more higher education graduates than any other country in Europe. The country's economic development is highly uneven geographically, with the Moscow region contributing a large share of the country's gross domestic product. Another problem is the aging and modernization of infrastructure, which suffered years of neglect in the 1990s. The government said that $1 trillion will be invested in developing infrastructure by 2020.